Right, so here we are. It's a week later. I'm just taking it back now. We've had a week of rain, but this bike has just been a right hoot all week, even in the rain. Kawasaki Ninja 650, £7,500 for this bike, and it seems like an awful lot of bike and a lot of fun for the money. It comes with Dunlop Road Sport tyres on, and they've been absolutely ideal for the sort of typical back roads that we've had, and the wet, and it has been very wet this week, and it is today as well. And I'm hoping, I mean, it's very windy, so I'm sorry if the camera's shaking about a bit because it is getting blown. But let's talk about the specs first, get those out of the way. And it's obviously a 650 parallel twin, same as in the 650 RS, the retro one, and the Versys 650. And in the Versys 650, I thought that this engine was too sporty, and so I was actually quite keen to get on this, especially given that the week that I've had it has been TT week, because this is like a toy racing bike. It's got, only does about 67 brake horsepower, something like that, 68 PS, whatever that equates to, and 64 newton meters of torque. And that torque comes in about, well, all that torque is made by about 6,700, something like that, revs. And this bike really comes alive at about 6,000 revs. This isn't running, so I couldn't do too much. The weather conditions haven't been fantastic, but it has been a real hoot. The seat height 790, so it's quite small, but I don't feel cramped on it. I find it really quite comfortable. How I'd fare on a really long journey, I don't know. But two things for me really stand out about it, apart from the value, is the handling is just perfect. Absolutely perfect for what it is. It's got fairly basic conventional forks on it, and a rear monoshock, but they're good. Kawasaki just good at making motorcycles. The sound, they've made loads of induction sound with it, and it actually sounds more like, if you compare it to the race bikes, it sounds more like the Ducati than it does the Kawasaki race bike, in that it growls when you wind it on, and hopefully I'll capture that, and if I do, I might put some in now or at some other point. I may have put it in by now. The brakes, absolutely spot on for it. Everything just seems, it's so perfect, it could be a Honda. Yeah, do you know the sort of thing I mean? Does everything that you would expect. But this isn't a Honda, it's a Kawasaki, and it's got the Kawasaki look. And I went to Crazy Horse Bike Night with it. There weren't many there, but I parked it up, and I have got witnesses to this. This bike attracted more attention than anything else. And I said to Banana Man, who was with me, I said, look at that. And people, one after the other, and they weren't just looking at it, they were examining it. They were, like this, all over it. And I'm thinking, it's a standard stock bike, what are they doing? They were in love with it, and I don't know if it's the colour. What I will tell you is that insects love this colour. The day I picked it up, I got home, and woof, they're all over it. I've grown to really like this bike. It surprised me because, to me, it's quite a generic bike, like a bit like the Suzuki. But the more I look at it, the more I like it. The more I ride it, the more I like it. I think what I've got to do is get on and ride it and do the senses test, because that's what it's all about. So yeah, not much of a pillion seat. It does come with foot pegs. I think you can probably get a cowl to cover that, I don't know. You could get a tail tidy, but the indicators, everything like that, it's fine exactly as it is. And like I say, as it is, attracts a lot of attention. The mirrors are just perfect. The dash, pretty good. You know, it's not two round clocks, it's a square LCD with everything on it. Everything that you want, but we can talk more about that when we go home and you can actually see it. The tank, 15 litres. I mean, that's a fairly big tank. I thought the tank looked small, but 15 litres is a fair size. It's fairly thrifty if you ride it economically, obviously. But if you open it up a bit, it goes through the juice a bit, which is what you would expect. The hand controls, everything where you'd expect it to be. It's got adjustable clutch levers. It's got twin discs on the front. Talking about the braking, they've put twin on the front, and at first I thought they'd put that on for sure. This is only a little 650 twin, but it does go. But that sort of speed performance, you don't realise it until you get above the legal limit. And then all of a sudden it finds it very easy. It's a heavy little thing, but great fun. So let's get on and ride it anyway. Right, so back on board in this beautiful Suffolk countryside. I mean, just look at it. It's just marvellous. But it has been raining. It's blowing a bit of a hoolie, and it's probably going to rain again. And I'd quite like to get back before it does, because I haven't put my waterproofs on. So let's get going and do the senses test. So that dash has got everything: gear indicator, fuel, information such as your range, average speed 30 miles an hour. See, not been going crazy. Let that car go a bit. Right, let's get going. Oh. Quite colourful. Looks like a racing one. Obviously it's got the Kawasaki traction control stuff. I don't know if you'll pick up that sound or not, but it is lovely when you get used to it going. It's got a real, I don't know, it makes the bike more exciting. So let's crack on with the senses test. And first of all, what would it taste like? Well, this has got to be same as the Kawasaki 500, hasn't it? It's got to be that Cresta. It's frothy, man. Yeah, a lime and lemon flavour or something like that. Very sweet. Such a hoot. I mean, that sound is just lovely. I really like it. And you can pretend that you're Mr. Hillier, can't you? Yeah. And be pretty safe. It's fairly quick, but at legal limits, you could have some real fun down the back roads. Yeah. And smells like a brand new bike. I have washed it a couple of times, but quite frankly it's been a waste of time because it's just been raining and the roads have been mucky. I'm amazed they've dried up now. You can still see some wet patches, which are a bit of a concern for going quickly. Then what does it look like? It looks like a little race bike, and it feels like a little race bike, without that much speed at the low revs. At the high revs, it comes alive, but you quickly run out. It's a bike you could certainly find the bottom of, I think, definitely if you did a track day. But a cracking looking bike, and like I say, crazy horse. People were all over it. Yeah, it really surprised me. I mean, it shouldn't, because it is a good looking bike. What's he going slow for? Watch out for that pothole. Yeah, so cracking looking bike for about not much more than a Super Meteor or a Classic, something like that. Completely different type of bike, of course. Then what's it like to touch and feel? It's Kawasaki, pretty damn good quality. That was cheeky of him, wasn't it? Mind you, it is a 30. It's really nice, very interesting shapes, and like I say, it looks like a race bike. It is pretty comfortable. The seat, everything is good quality. I think I've said it before when I had my W800 CAF, is, you know, they build it down to a price. I mean, £7,500 is just, you know, it's in a competitive market though, I suppose. You know, if you look at the bikes that it's up against, the 660 Daytona Triumph, got some horses here. Yeah, so there's the Aprilia as well, the Yamaha R7, but they're all substantially more money. And whilst it's in that class, it sort of isn't, because it's just a different price bracket, really. Of course, you've got the ZX6, which is another £3,000 on top if you wanted a couple more cylinders and a lot more brake horsepower. But you've also got the 500. Now, I really like the 500, and the 500 is obviously cheaper to insure, etc. But I prefer this, and I think if I was looking at the 500, I'd probably have a look and see if I can find the extra grand that this is and go for this one instead. That's what I think. Sound. Let's get on to sound as well. So the exhaust doesn't seem to make much sound at all. You can't hear it over that growl of the induction on the intake, which is just lovely. What a way to do it. And I think I might have commented when I did the 650 RS, because that does it as well. Not quite, it doesn't seem to do it quite as much as this, but I think bikes, when they're fully fairing like this, they throw a lot more sound up at you. So that's what I'd say. How does it make me feel? Well, I've absolutely loved it. I think yeah, it's a bike I would consider if I ever got rid of the Suzuki in favour of two bikes, because I don't think this could do what the Suzuki does. This would be a really good bike for me to go and play about on at my age, where I don't have the reactions for the super fast bikes. I could go out and play with this and feel pretty safe and confident on it. So that's how I feel about it. Yeah, it's really caught me by surprise, because it wasn't something that I would have ordinarily looked at from that point of view. Though I did have a Ninja a few years ago, and I loved that then. Yeah, I think that went for the W800, I can't remember. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll bring you back when I get a bit closer to Orwell. Yeah. So here we are, made it back. It hasn't rained, So I'm quite pleased about that. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed it. It's quite sad to take it back, but I've got to take it back, and I've got to collect my Suzuki with its new tyres on. Yeah, absolutely marvellous. This bike has also been absolutely marvellous, and the sound has got to be its party piece. Yeah, I love it. But let's get it stopped here and you can have a look at it. Wonderful dealership. Let's just get it stopped about there. Into neutral, side stand down, no centre stand of course. Ignition off. Let's have a little look at it before we get a nice cup of tea. There you go. Kawasaki Ninja 650. Absolutely wonderful. Here are Orwell's, who are absolutely splendiferous. Yeah. Ta-ta.